Easy. How are we doing? Yeah, so today I'm going to replace the 3 valves on my sib, both the sponsons and the keel that sits at the bottom. They are knackered and worn and they don't hold air fantastically, so I may as well swap them. So it'll be good to know that they all hold air, and it'll be good to know that I can use the same valve to fill all 3 up rather than having to use, you know, one valve for 2 of them and a different valve for the other one. So we'll just get them all done in one go. Process looks pretty easy. I'm just going to start by cutting them out, and then we'll clean them up, ready to put the new ones in. So we'll start from there. Let's use a nice sharp Stanley blade to cut all the way around the outside of it. I'll tell you what, it's an unnerving feeling cutting through this fabric, thinking, well, you know, point of no return now, I've got to do it. But no, I've used adhesives before, and it's all much of a muchness really. You're just trying to achieve the same thing and stop, like either trying to stop air escaping or water escaping. I suppose in this case it's a bit of both. You don't want water to enter it, you don't want air to come out of it. Almost got one out. Yeah, brilliant. You can see how it works. When you blow air into the valve opens up, lets it in, and when you stop blowing air in, it closes off. Except the rubbers in these are shot now, so they don't really hold much air at all. Although when you want to deflate them, if you press it in and turn it, as you can see, it holds the valve open, so you don't need to sit there holding it open and then twist it back again, and that'll close it. Now we have 3 big holes, so definitely gone past the point of no return now. Right, so now we've cut out the old valves, this kit comes with solvent cleaner. Now there's 2 different types. You may well already be aware of this. There's 2 different materials that are used when making sibs and ribs. It's either going to be PVC or Hypalon. This is Hypalon, which is the better of the 2 generally. PVC's come on a long way, but Hypalon is still considered to be the best material out there. And this kit comes with a solvent cleaner, and there's plenty of it, so I'm going to use this to clean up around the edges of the holes, so we have, well, so that we know that we have a very clean working surface to work on. Now when I was doing that far one, there was a little bit of glue around the edge, like a bit of old glue from a previous job. I don't know what exactly or where it's come from, but it's that kind of thing that you want to be removing from the edge, because if you've got anything on the edge that's it could prevent you from creating a decent seal, which is exactly why it needs to be clean. You know, if you've got a bit of dirt and debris in there, that will affect the seal that you're trying to create. So it's important to have it as clean and smooth as you possibly can get. So now all of the holes are cut out, well, the valves are now removed, we've cleaned them up, and these are our doubles, so we can mark out whereabouts they're going to be on the rib. Just going to centre those in the hole there, just make sure that's correct. No, wants to be just there. So that is now central. And I'm going to draw around these because you need to create a key on the surface of your boat using some sandpaper, and that will again help it to adhere even more. I was using a pencil here, so I can't see any point in using a permanent marker. It's got a centre hole to work to. In your kit, if you bought a kit, there'll be some sandpaper or glass paper. This is 80 grit, just in case yours doesn't come with any. Anyway, so not looking to braid it too much, just enough so that it goes dull and it's no longer completely smooth. Just going to do it right up to the edges. Just to the point where I'm just about to scratch off the pencil lines that I made, and that's when I'll know that I've done enough. You might just be able to see that. So we've now got a different colour around the edges. That's where I've taken it off with the sandpaper. You don't want to go too nuts because then you'll ruin the fabric, but that's just enough there, so it's more of a rough texture now instead of completely smooth. That'll help our chemicals, our bond to bond. And now, stick you back on the head. We'll make up the valves so that they are ready to go on. It's got a washer on here as well. Well, if I was going to put a bolt into a nut, in fact, does it go the other way? So, as you can see, on the plug, it's completely smooth around there. That's why it comes with this washer to give you that rib for pleasure on the outside now. So that'll then match the rib side on the valve body. So now I can make these up. Yeah, that'll be the outside. That's the inside. And I believe it comes with a tool to tighten it up. Let's take the cap off there. That is that one. Let's use that to tighten it right up, because you won't be able to do that once it's inside the rib. That's one. Then do that 3 more times. Noticed a bit of an issue with the instructions. If you put the unit together like I did, so you have the bottom of the valve and then your doubler on top and then the actual valve itself, the body is cone shaped, so once you put that in, it's raising it up away from the boat, which is no good at all, because then you can't possibly get a seal. So I played around with trying to raise the boat up a bit, but even then you can't then get any weight on it to create a good seal. So having thought about that, I'm going to, well, I've taken the valves out, and I'm just going to put these straight onto the holes like that. That then leaves you with another problem, because of the circumference of the doubler is smaller. That's when I've covered this in adhesive, it's then going to stick to the bottom of the boat. So to counteract that, I've put some grease-proof paper down, like some baking parchment, which should help. It shouldn't stick to that as well as it would do with the boat. What else have we done? So with the body of the valve, I'll put that inside the boat so we can retrieve that later on, but I've also connected it to a bit of string so that make it even easier to retrieve it. And as you can see, I've put masking tape around the outside of where we're going to be applying the adhesive, so we can try to get as clean a edge as we can. So, oh, and one thing I did forget to mention was don't forget to key the bottom of these doublers as well, because again, that will help them to adhere to the boat just as much as we did earlier when we keyed this as well. So yeah, and make sure you do it to the underside and not the top, because the top's a much nicer, shinier side, so I always have that side up. Right, now I'm at the point where I can mix up the bonding solution and the activator. I've got 125 ml of bonding here, and 5mm of activator, and that's a ratio of 25:1. So I'll get that mixed up and then follow the instructions from there. So now I've got it all mixed up. I'm going to start applying it to the butt. So give it one coat first and let that dry for 20 minutes. Then you apply another coat. Let that dry for, I think it said about somewhere between 2 and 5 minutes. I'll double check in a sec. This should go a bit tacky. At which point, that's when we can put it all together. And do all three at the same time. That's the boat done. Now I'll do these doublers as well. Right, the second coat has been applied. I left it a few minutes. It is worth mentioning at this point that wherever you stick this now is where it's going to stay. You don't get a second chance to reposition it, so do make sure you get it right. Start from the center and work my way out. I'm going to use the smooth end of a radiator spanner to smooth it out. Somehow I've not managed to get my circle right, but that's okay, because the adhesive that the solvent that we have will get rid of any glue. Smooth it out towards the outer edges to get any air bubbles out of there. And then I'm going to keep it weighted down for a whole day, 24 hours. I'm going to use some 2 kilo dumbbells. Okay, so that's all three now successfully on. I managed to get them lined up pretty well, I think, considering. So I'm going to let those go off for a day. And I'll come back either tomorrow night or sometime the day after, put the valves together, blow it up, make sure we've done a good job, and I shall see you back then. Very next day, and hopefully we should have a very nicely sealed trio of patches. See if we can retrieve our end yet. We got our piece of greaseproof paper out. Where's it gone? There it is. Oh, look at that. Straight into the hole. If I can just find the knife and whip that off. And fingers crossed. Should all work. That slips in nicely. I'm just going to get the other two in, tighten them all up, pump it up, and check for leaks. The idea of putting a bit of string on there, as you can see, is by far and away the best way of doing it. Without a doubt. Now it is straight in the hole. Slip it in, job done. And there we have it, all pumped up. I've just been around all the valves and made sure that they're not leaking. I just sprayed some water and fairy liquid on it, and if there's any leaks it will just start to bubble up straight away. But no, it's all looking really good. You can also get these double ups in yellow as well, but you know, because this thing's so old, I'm never going to find the right colour, and I thought it'd look a bit naff if it's a different shade of yellow. But no, I really like the black on there. I think it looks cool. Yeah, well, thank you very much for watching this episode of how to change your sib valves. I suppose the next time you see a video it will be out in this, or probably out in Hetty if we can get some nice weather. But yeah, anyway, have yourselves a good one, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.